All right, so closing basically right at the test of Vega neutral, a little bit short of the market maker's expected move today. So vol sellers made out pretty clean on the definitely on the lower bound, but also on the upper range. Caught support at 64.31 ES. Opening up a leg up to 64.74 going into tomorrow morning and presenting the opportunity for a reversal back up into the like 6500 range. Obviously the first important test there is going to be the prior week close up at 64.75. Dollar declining with a little bit of a drop in yields today, as we move through some Fed speakers. You got a little bit of a turnaround in correlation. For all of you guys wanting to short Palantir right now, I'd be very careful in the near term, especially if there's any weakness in labor data throughout the rest of the week. Tomorrow we have ISM, S&P, PMIs, which are going to be important. We have ADP and Challenger data in the morning. That probably won't be. Had a big drop in oil today, about 250 points. Some Russia news, but gold and silver managed to hold. So continued improvement in precious metals. Bond volatility starting to pick back up again after really just bottoming out at like multi-year lows over the last few weeks. So that's good to see. Definitely some people starting to bet against the Fed making a decision in September. And then even with today's turnaround in yields, and realize vol on bonds is picking up. Continue to bleed off on the short end of the carry. However, the front end lost a little bit of leverage into close, but is still holding that like 8.7x range. I feel like the bleed and leverage on the short end though here is maybe very telling that conditions aren't really as bullish as maybe they appear. Forward yield on volatility closing the day back negative, so the backwardation knocked out a little bit there, um, but still, not very negative yet. And then we also, have steepening in the yield curve, so possibly that there is still continued demand for forward volatility. Skew not doing much, breadth narrowing quite a lot. I wonder if today's performance really improved that. I don't think it did. It looks like most of the bump in tech, Dow and Russell, both negative on the day still. So um, that's wild. Correlation between VIX cash VIX or VX cash VIX dropping to 36.88%. Massive drops over the last 2 days. This could be a lot of vol selling to prevent the downside, but that's a very steep drop off. Um, I'm not sure that that's indicative of stability yet, but if that starts to turn around, watch out. Fed fund futures moving back up a little bit after Kashkari spoken at the end of the day, but pretty much unchanged from yesterday with today's data. And the 10-2 year still at 60%. Out here on the technicals, I mean, we got our test at the EMA 30. We're bouncing off of it. I think there's a gap still to fill to the upside at 64.60.25 that's not filled yet. Maybe that'll fill. We retest the trend and see if we fail. This is the third test of the EMA 30, so I would not expect the bounce off of this to be stronger than the prior two. And this may fail after the upside test or after filling that gap. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye out for rejection on the gap fill to the upside if we get it, especially going into NFP data. I think that's about it. Sectors today, and Apple and Google up a lot, but that's mostly it. So finding out, doesn't look like any sector rotation, and nothing else is really outperforming to a crazy degree. So most of that bump in tech concentrated into two companies. It's not a particularly great look. Um, yeah, so this may not be all that stable. I would watch out. Generally, like big moves in correlation between VX and cash VIX like that, and for like a lot of very short dated volatility selling, which can then collapse. So watch out for that. Where do I put stops, Gherk? Because you like keeping the money you made. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Balani, I wish your wife the best. I hope all goes well tomorrow. You guys have a great night. I'll see you later. Peace.